Hi, it's Ashley from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials as well as give a lot of baking business tips. Now, originally, I really wanted to wait until I had the professional footage of the cake to show you guys at the very end, but unfortunately, I just don't know when that footage is actually going to arrive, so we're just going to go with our regular beauty shots that I normally have at the end of my videos. Also, be sure to stay to the end so I can explain the cake pricing for this. Now, how we started off was I was taking apart my old cake. If you've been watching my channel, you might recognize that cake. Now, the reason I had to end up doing this in the first place is because originally when I went to go buy the fake cake tiers that I'm going to be using, I only bought just the standards, and then I realized I really want an extra tall cake tier somewhere in this, so I needed to take apart some cakes that I already had. I will also take this time to reintroduce my friend Rachel, who is a masterful cake decorator herself. What you're seeing us do there, by the way, is discuss what it is that we're actually doing with this cake. Now, she was just helping me out because she knew I was under a huge time crunch. At this point in time, the school year had just ended, so I really only had about 3 or 4 days to pull everything together. And I had already delegated my sister and made her make all of these fondant roses with me, but I had a few more to make. By the way, my sister is not a cake decorator by any means, but this is how easy it is to make this rose. Now, I made these roses before on my channel, but before when I did it, I showed you guys how to use the lollipop trick in order to create really nice big roses that you could stab into the cake. This time I'm going without anything in between. If you want to make your rose a little bit more full, then you will want to use something like a styrofoam ball in the center to make it really nice and big, but I'm just going in and I'm creating this by using nothing at all inside, just the fondant. Now, if you find that things are really sticking, then I like to use a little bit of Tylose powder. Now, be careful if you are using Tylose powder in place of cornstarch. The reason that I do this is because Tylose powder basically takes your fondant and it turns it into gum paste. And as we know, gum paste dries a little bit quicker and it's a little bit less malleable than fondant is. So, if you still feel like you're not super confident in your caking skills, I would just go with cornstarch if things are sticking together. And then to attach everything, I'm just using a little bit of water. Now, if you wanted to have just a small little rose, then you would start with something like this and you could just end it right there, but I'm going to continue on adding different things. And really, you can control the shape of this rose and what it's going to look like by how you drag out these petals. I'm making things really roughly. I want it to have that nice bountiful ruffle look, but some rose petals are a little bit more perfect on the edge, so just be careful and mindful of how you do that with a balling tool. And I highly recommend that you use a balling tool, which is basically the tool that has the ball at the end, hence the fabulous name. You'll also want some sort of styrofoam mat so you can make sure that your petals get really nice and thin. If you try to do this on just a regular table, it's probably not going to work. So while I was creating all of those different flowers, Rachel was getting started on creating this fake cake. Now, when she gets her fondants prepped, she generally likes to use a good amount of shortening. It really makes things a little bit more pliable and a little bit more easy to work with. You'll notice that she's laying down a bunch of cornstarch because when you're covering a cake with fondant, you do want to use something that is not going to dry out your fondant a ton. And in order to attach all of that fondant to this cake dummy, all she used was a little bit of shortening, and then she's cutting things off and making sure to really get those edges nice and sharp. The great thing too about working with fake cakes is you'll notice that she flipped everything upside down. This just ensures that she gets that nice, sharp, and clean edge. Now, this is where things get a little bit tricky. So I have this wonderful stand that my friend made for me, and it is a little bit heavy, so it's great to use when you're using a fake cake because, of course, you don't have to bother supporting it whatsoever. The styrofoam supports it itself, and then you really have to screw everything in. So we've designed this so that a dowel goes directly into the cake so that nothing moves. This is to create that really great floating tier look. Now, of course, if you don't want a floating tier, completely skip this part and you're going to have a lot easier of a time because you don't need to add in any extra supports whatsoever. I also forgot to mention that we did have a little bit of an issue with that extra tall tier because what happened was I had 2 styrofoam tiers that were almost the same size but not quite, so we needed to cut it down. Now, in order to cut down styrofoam, you have to heat a knife and then you get everything nice and even by shaving things down. Now, it is really tricky because it gets really kind of messy and it is very challenging to get an even cut on everything. So you're never going to get that perfectly rounded tier with just a knife. So you kind of need to fill in the gaps with shortening. Now, to cover this tier was really tricky because, of course, there is no bottom. So it's hard to cover this and make sure that the stand is also covered. But Rachel had a pressing commitment that needed to get done, so I said, you know what, don't bother trying to smooth everything out because I'm going to be covering this whole thing up anyway. Now in this instance, all of the tiers were put together using just hot glue because obviously it's styrofoam, so that works. But if this were a real cake, you of course would have to dowel and board everything. And here comes the fun part. So now we're going to create all of these leaves that are going to cover this. Now my original vision for this was kind of like garden party beautiful, and I wanted this to look a little bit like a lacy tier, but I didn't want to do the traditional lace as this cake was for my mom and dad, so I needed to keep it fairly modern. They're not super into the vintage look, but I did want to have some sort of nod to a wedding-like pattern. So I'm going to be using this mold, which by the way is one of my favorite molds of all time. It creates all of these beautiful leaves, and you really just press the fondant in like that, and I love how it doesn't grab onto your fondant and make it impossible for things to come out. So you'll notice that I also steamed this. This is so that I can cover large areas at a time and really get this stuck on nicely without having to use more water and paint things on and waste time in that way. I also like to shy away from using things like royal icing or buttercream on cakes. I just find it doesn't adhere as well, and sometimes it leaks out. Of course, I sometimes will use those mediums to get things onto cakes, especially when I can't do vast areas all at once. So for me though, the first thing that I'm going to choose is always going to be the steaming trick, where I can adhere everything very easily. And one of the big things is I want to make this look like it's floating in a garden or something of the like. So I need to make sure that I really cover up that stand and make sure that nothing is showing. In order to cover up this portion in the middle, I just rolled out some fondant using a little bit of cornstarch to make sure that things didn't stick, and then I placed it directly onto the stand and covered everything up. Now that isn't the best covering up job, but I know that a lot of flowers are going to go on here, so I'm really not too concerned with that. And fun fact, I actually end up using that tier to support the whole cake as I was delivering this. So I had to sit in the back seat. You guys might have seen my short that I had where I'm actually delivering it. And of course, with a real cake, I wouldn't be able to manhandle the cake whatsoever or touch any of the fondant. But because this wasn't a real cake on the bottom, I was able to support everything by holding that tier down, so I didn't have to wreck any of the outside parts of the fondant that would actually show. Now this mold that you're seeing here, I bought on a complete whim. I just was picking up a few last minute things for this anniversary party for other desserts, and I saw this and I was like, you know what, that's going to be perfect for this cake so that I don't have to make everything just leaves or everything just those fondant roses. I can add a little bit of texture here and there with something else. I love doing a nice fun textured look. I know the big thing right now is with really super modern cakes, they're doing things like ripping fondant or kind of putting fondant pieces together to give it that really rough modern look, and I wanted to keep things a little bit more elegant, a little less abstract, but still have that textured look. So molds are definitely the way to go when you want to achieve that. Despite the magnitude of this cake, this part was actually very relaxing just to get everything onto here and to get everything to come to life. If you guys saw the Spider-Man cake that I made for my son, that was far more difficult, and I felt like it used a lot more of my brain power. So although they kind of equally took the same amount of time, I would say, active time caking, this was by far easier because you're really just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's more about placement and having a good eye for that placement. And really what I mean by having a good eye is if you like the way it looks, then your eye is perfect. Now what I'm doing here is I'm steaming everything together. Now this is where you really want to make sure that you take the time to steam. Sometimes you'll hear me say steam really lightly because you don't want the details melting together, or if you over steam, it can make it really difficult to actually adhere things to the cake. But in this instance, because everything is really nice and hardened, I've worked on this cake over a number of days, you really want to make sure that you steam it quite well. The heaviness and the weight of those flowers is going to need a really good steam. And don't worry if when you place those flowers on, you indent that fondant a little bit, it's going to be totally fine. Now I'm sad to say, but at the end of this video, it's not like you're going to see the whole cake completely compiled as it was on site because, like I mentioned earlier, I don't have that professional footage, but don't worry, I will share it with you one day. Now what I was doing there was I was measuring out how tall things could go and where I should put the flowers. If you saw my short, then you saw when I delivered this cake, I actually ended up having to take off some of those flowers because it couldn't fit in the trunk of my car. A lot of you guys also asked, why didn't you just stack this on site? And of course, because it's a fake cake, I would not be stacking a fake cake on site. If this were 100% real, of course, everything would be stacked on site, but that means mandatory delivery because I would have to spend a lot of time actually placing those flowers on. And we will get to talking about that mandatory delivery fee in a few here. But what I'm doing is I really was struggling with the colors of this party. And I know that's going to sound weird because it's my mother, so I could just ask her. But it was really kind of a mishmash of colors. And my mom really wanted red to be at the forefront. And I had been shown several different color swatches as well as several different bouquet arrangements and inspo ideas. I'm sure you guys have all been there with your clients before where they show you a bunch of different things that are all kind of different, kind of the same, and you don't know what to take which from which. Luckily, this all turned out, but I really wanted to make sure that I added in a few pinks to brighten things up since this was a summer anniversary party. And by the way, those green leaves were a total last minute addition. I was going to leave that just flowers everywhere, but I decided it did need a little bit of greenery, so I just used some fake floral greenery for that. Now it was time to make the teeniest little cake on top so that my parents could actually have a little cake cutting ceremony and feed each other cake just like they did on their wedding day. Now, when you're making a cake this tiny, I definitely recommend that you chill things before you try and crumb coat it like this. Otherwise, you will need to put a dowel in this like I did just to make sure that things were nice and steadied. Otherwise, what I would do is I would fill it, put it in the fridge, and then you can go ahead and coat it. After letting that set in the fridge for a little bit, then I went ahead and I covered it with fondant and added on some of those roses just to really tie it all together. And here is the finished cake. Now, of course, when I actually delivered this to the venue, there were two more tiers on top. There was the cake cutting tier, and then there was also another fake little styrofoam tier. But, of course, now that this is back in my possession again, all I did was I filled it in with some of the leftover flowers that I had, and I'm going to just keep this cake until I need those styrofoam tiers for something else. Now let's get into the pricing of this cake, and I hear this debate a lot. This whole cake isn't edible, and that is correct, but whether it's fully edible or not, I would still charge $2,500 Canadian. This is because there's a lot of work that goes into this, and yes, if it were a real cake, it would take a little bit more work, so it might be a little bit more expensive, but it really wouldn't make that much of a difference. The work that is being put in here, that is the majority of the work, is all of that fondant work. Now, where you're going to see that cost rise a little bit more because it's real is in the delivery fee. Now, if this cake were fully fake, there would be no mandatory delivery fee because people probably could transport this themselves. But because for this particular cake, there is a small little cake at the top that is edible, I would implement a delivery fee that would be mandatory. And it would start at $250 Canadian. So it doesn't matter where in the city it would be or how far it would start off that price. And if this were a fully real cake, well, setup on site is a lot more difficult than when you're doing it in your bakery or your home bakery business. So it would be even more. I believe the starting price for that delivery fee would be around $350. And of course, that would be mandatory because they're obviously not going to be able to do it themselves. This pricing would, of course, account for the labor cost. It also accounts for the fact that you do need some technical skill to be able to put that together on site, and it also accounts for the fact that gas prices are very, very high right now. Now let's get into the subscriber submission of the video, and what is more fitting than to feature a really nice fondant cake in a super fun and heavy video. Be sure to go and drop them a like and drop them a comment. And if you want to be the next featured subscriber submission of the video, then please follow me at SD Bake Shop on Instagram, where you can either send me a photo or tag me in a photo. Any and all dessert levels are welcome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading weekly, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!